Hi, this is Dawn Shireen. Welcome to my podcast, Dancing with Bipolar Redux. Hope you're all doing well. It is Friday, July 11th. It's been a rainy, kind of dreary day today here in Rapid City. And I think I'm reflecting a little bit of the weather. It's been a pretty busy week, actually. And although things went well, I don't know what's going on with my head lately, so I guess it's just time to kind of talk about it. The fact that I have bipolar doesn't define me in any way. However, there are definitely symptoms and things that pop up with it, and I think that my lack of confidence or not necessarily a lack of confidence, but my lack of belief that what I'm doing is good and right is kind of starting to get me a little bit. I mean, I'm not going around announcing it, and people would probably say I'm overconfident and that I'm assertive, and I don't know. I know there's people that just don't like me now already. I haven't been here long, but I can already tell, there's just people who've already had enough of me, and I guess that's just kind of bothering me a little bit, because last time that happened, I wound up getting stalked and all kinds of stuff. So I'm just hoping that I'm misreading the situations. Nobody said anything to me, not that people do, right? But, and I could absolutely be, feeding my own negativity right into my own brain, and I could be reading the situation wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not, so, there's that. I've been tired this past week too, so I don't know what's going on, because usually my body function mimics my brain function. So if I'm physically tired, I'm mentally tired too. And I have to keep reminding myself that I've not been here that long, and I'm really expecting a lot out of myself to just kind of move on without even dealing with what happened to me. And I'm not really dealing with what happened to me. I keep refusing to write about it in order to purge it. When I do have therapy, we barely talk about it. She just wants to, totally overlook the fact that I was stalked and, my civil rights were destroyed and all that back in Flagstaff. And I kind of understand where she's coming from with that. However, I think I'm one of those people that need to hash something out until it's just all gone, and I'm not doing that. So things just keep popping up at the least expected times, and I don't know. I really don't know what to do with that, or if I should do anything with that. I think I'm going to need to, because it's just going to come back and bite me at some point. So I also kind of backslid a little bit on something I promised myself I wasn't going to do. And, but the payout is I got to see Mount Rushmore, and I got to go back to Custer, and I saw Buffalo up close and personal and all that. But that did mean I had to hang out with Mr. Know-It-All. I did get to see the dog, which, is always great for me. But he still treats his dog like shit. And in a way, I really felt like a hypocrite, because of the show, Norman and Mr. Know-It-All, and I vowed I would never hang out with him again, no matter what. And I did. And I had a good time. I'm not going to lie. It would have been a better time had it been somebody else. But, I still had a good time, and I got to see things. And, not that I'm a show off or anything, but I get to drive around in a 78 Corvette, which I don't know. I used to be kind of a gearhead, so I get it, right? I'm not impressed by things like that, though. He could have come in his regular car, and I probably actually would have had a better time, because I wouldn't have been so terrified the whole time that he was going to crash. But again, that's me, right? Adding stress to myself where maybe I don't need it, but stress nonetheless. Tomorrow I am attending this organization called Journey On out here. They're having a loss class, I guess is a good way to do it, having to do with suicide. So I've been really thinking about this for a while, and I'm sure that this has something to do with my downed mood. Because I don't feel depressed. I just feel tired and sad, I guess, a little bit. So I'm pretty sure this has something to do with it, because I've been anticipating it for weeks now. So it's been in my mind. But I mean, to learn more tools and techniques to help people deal with suicide, and maybe to help myself still deal with it, even though we're coming up to 5 years really soon when Christopher decided to exit early. And I don't know. I mean, it's not like an everyday, that's actually kind of a lie. I do think about him every day, but it's not like that everyday ache like it was when it first happened, where, I couldn't breathe and I couldn't exist, very well. Now it's just kind of a sad ache, like knowing he's never going to come back. I'm never going to see him again, and that makes me sad. So we'll see how this class goes. I will definitely talk more about it and very possibly do an article on it. Press conference this week for the coach happened, and I feel really good about the piece that I wrote for it. This is the guy that doesn't like me, though, is the PR guy for the Rush. I'm pretty sure he hates me. So it's going to be contentious. I'm not making it contentious. I just can feel it. And again, like I said before, maybe this is me. Maybe that's not real. Maybe I'm projecting it. But I'm pretty good at reading people, and I really can tell that he doesn't respect me. So it's kind of on him, but it's still, it makes me sad, because I don't want everybody to love me, but I want people to respect me, and to have the person that I will be somewhat dealing with the most, right, throughout the season. And who knows, maybe I'll just decide I don't want to do it, because if it's going to cause me this much heartache every time I have to deal with something with the team because of this guy, it doesn't really seem like it's worth it. But then I look at it on the other end, for the paper, it's totally worth it. So, and come season time, I'll be writing about live games and stuff like that, and it won't be so much downtime for him to... Actually, I don't know what he's doing. I think he would just prefer to ignore me 100% if he possibly could. The press conference, and they had like a media thing at the end. I didn't know anything about it. I don't know if that my editor knew anything about it. It wasn't that long. It wasn't a big deal. If I would have hung out, I would have seen it, but I didn't know what was going on. But I still got to ask questions to the coach on my own. Not that I published anything he said to me, because, that would definitely cause a rift. But information gathering is what it is. But I don't know. It just kind of, the whole thing just kind of really made me a little sad. I'm going to get through it, of course, but it's just a situation, a problem I don't need. So I'm not going to exacerbate it, and I'm not going to do anything to, make it any worse or to do anything to it. But I feel it, and if I feel it, then there's definitely something awry. Let's just leave it at that. And lastly, met one of my neighbors who, oh my, could be a good problem for me. He could be the reason why I would just want to go to games and not write about it, just because I would rather be paying attention to him than to the game. He's younger, military vet, nice guy, and that's really all I want to say about that, because it seemed like last time I talked about somebody I liked, I kind of jinxed it by saying too much. So I don't leave it at that, but just to say there is somebody that I could potentially be extremely interested in, and seem to like me too. So, that's a good thing. And again, that's scary for me as well. So, that could be part of the whole sadness thing too, is never going to replace Christopher. And but it's a thing, and it it like makes me sad to realize that he's not here anymore, and there is an area that can be filled again that's not him, right? That makes me sad, actually. That does make me sad. Otherwise, I guess I'm doing alright. I'm still doing them, I'm still taking my meds, and I don't know. I don't really feel like I've done anything that proactive this week, though, to actually help my mental health. And my sleep's been off. My dreams have been crazy. And that's always concerning, because the start of a bad slide will always come with some kind of sleep disruption, and I'm pretty much in the midst of a sleep disruption. So it's time for me to actually really think hard about what I'm doing and what extra stress I'm adding to my life voluntarily that I don't need to, and maybe just take. And I said this last week or the week before. It's time for a reevaluation. Maybe it really is time to just take some time away from what I think I need to be doing, because nobody else is pressuring me to do anything. It's all on me. Maybe it's just time to breathe, enjoy the summer, get a sunburn, and not be so focused on doing something for somebody else, and kind of bringing the focus back to taking care of me again, which I lose hindsight of all the time. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's where I'm at. Maybe that's what needs to happen. So I guess this is just going to be a short one, because I don't really need to ramble on without a whole lot to say, but I just kind of wanted to check in and let you all know that, I'm okay. I'm not fantastic right now, but I'm good. I'm not in, any danger to myself or anything like that. So, and I will report back on the lost class that I take. Remember, if you're in distress and you have no one to talk to, 988 is your friend in the United States. And I guess it's 999 in Europe. I think that's the number. So, they're your friends on the other side. So if you need help, don't hesitate to call them. Text them, 741-741. You can text for help in the U.S. Probably everywhere, right? Because we can text everywhere. So 741-741 is your text buddy. 988, your emergency for mental health. And crisis. So I'm going to end it there. Love y'all, and I will put how to get a hold of me in the show notes. So this is Dawn Shireen. This is my podcast, Dancing with Bipolar Redux. And hey, let's all stay alive, okay? Later.